So it's Grammy weekend, which the Grammys are the most prestigious award. It's also kind of the dumbest award at the same time because it's not really voting. You vote, and if they want to change their mind, they do.
But man, as a band, if you win one or an artist, it's a huge deal.
It is a huge deal, but it just isn't indicative of real life.
That's correct.
It's a huge deal, and it becomes it makes people feel like, oh, wow, they are really good. They won a Grammy. However, the people nominated, sometimes they're just nominated for bullcrap reasons.
Yeah.
It is the weirdest, worst system. It is the most unrealistic award that represents really nothing except cool people picking cool people. That being said, it's still the biggest award, you know? So the Grammys are coming up. As you can tell, I have a really love-hate relationship with the Grammy. It's the biggest, most prestigious award that you can get in music.
And then in the country genre, it's tough, too, because you know the people that are deserving for the big awards, and sometimes they don't even get nominated because it is the cool guy club.
A panel will go, you know what, here's who we're going to put up for it. A panel.
Yeah. That's based in...
Wherever, Nashville or Los Angeles. Oh, yeah. And then they'll get the results, and if they don't fully agree with the results, as we've heard, they can just go, you know what, let's do somebody different.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which sucks. So I have here country artist with the most Grammy wins. After I'm just like, you know what's voted? It still is a real thing.
Are there a lot of modern country artists in this list?
Yes.
Or are they all legends?
Nope.
Okay.
It's kind of mixed, 50-50.
Okay.
We'll start at number 11, Hillary Scott at number 11.
Really? Hillary Scott?
She's won 9 Grammy Awards. Yeah. Lady Antebellum, also her Christian album, won some awards. Cheryl Crowe also has won 9 Grammy Awards. Which, again, do you consider Cheryl Crowe country? I really don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
I know that she's kind of over in this space now, but I don't consider her a country artist because I grew up with Cheryl Crowe, loving her when she wasn't country.
Yeah, listen to this stuff.
Mm-hmm. But I guess, you know, she had Picture with Kid Rock. We played that on a pop station, though.
It's hard. You're trying to convince yourself right now.
I know, because I just love her music so much. Bonnie Raitt comes in at number 9. 10 Grammy Awards.
Boy, that's tough, too. I don't see her as a country artist.
Me either.
At all.
Yeah. You know, pop a little bit.
Yeah. Or
blues, Americana.
What's the genre? AAA, they call that? Is that just a radio format?
That's a radio format, okay. Yeah. But all that mix would fit in AAA. At number 8 on the list is Linda Ronstadt. Linda Ronstadt with 10 awards. Before me, honestly.
Oh, way before me, too.
Yeah. Roger Miller has 11 Grammys.
Nice.
Dang me. They ought to take a rope and hang me high from the highest tree. Woman, would you weep for me?
See, I like King of the Road.
Yeah. And he was maybe one of the first crossover stars to do it. Number 6, The Chicks. They've won 12 Grammys.
Wow.
Contemporary.
Yeah,
so as you can see, it's a bit of both. Emmylou Harris has won 13. She's for sure country.
For sure. No doubt on that one.
Same thing with Ricky Skaggs. Although some would go he's bluegrass.
Yeah, that's your boy.
But yeah, he's won 15 Grammy Awards.
Man, I know you know cool people, but one time we were at the Opry and Ricky Skaggs walks by our dressing room and he looks in there, he's like, Bobby! And I'm just like, what is happening here? Like, how do you know him so well?
Yeah,
and
he's great.
He just talks to you like you guys are buds.
And the whole time I'm like, man, I can't believe this guy's talking to me like we're buds.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Allison Krauss and Union Station have 14 Grammy Awards. They've won 14 Grammys over 25 years.
Wow.
She's at number 3 on the list. At number 2 is Vince Gill with 21 Grammys. Wow. Can you imagine going to Vince Gill's house and he has 21 Grammy Awards?
They're just all over in the kitchen, living room.
He's like turning blenders into...
He's eating cereal out of his Grammy.
Just his doorstop.
Not now. He's done a lot of different stuff. He does bluegrass as well, right?
Vince Gill is the top Grammys winner when it comes to country men with 21 awards.
Yeah.
His most recent win was 2017. Who do you think number 1 is?
Garth.
Garth
No.
didn't even make the top 10.
Wow.
Top 11, yeah.
Grammys, Johnny Cash.
No, it's kind of a trick question. She's won 27 Grammys. 27 Grammys.
Shania Twain.
It's a trick question.
Why is it a trick question?
For sure, she's country. But she also won what?
Dolly.
She also won with a band. And so it's a mix of band and solo.
Oh, I don't know, man. Like what give me a direction.
What's the direction, Mike?
I don't know how you can tell them without telling them.
Yeah. She was also in the list earlier.
She was? Lady A?
No, that was Hillary just from
That's
Lady A.
Hillary.
It's just her herself. It's Alison Krauss.
Oh, Alison Krauss.
Because she has 14 with Union Station and she has 13 otherwise. So she has 27 Grammy Awards.
That's amazing.
You know, I probably would have guessed 50 people before I guessed Alison Krauss being the most decorated Grammy Award winner of all time.
Have you met her?
No, I've been close to her, meaning we walk by each other at the Opry, but I'm never going to stop anybody. So no.
Yeah, because she's uber famous, you know, and I'd never met her or anything like that. And she's not even one that I think of like being such a huge country artist. But now that you say that, of course, she deserves all those. She's awesome.
The Alison Krauss, Robert Plant record.
Robert Plant,
yeah. That was massive.
Yeah, that was huge.
And that probably won a bunch of awards, right? Did that, Mike, do you know if they won any Grammys together?
Let me see.
Just for that record or for like record of the year? Didn't you see Robert Plant
I saw him many times.
in Austin, like
Yes.
walking around Whole Foods or
Whole
something?
Foods.
By the way, Robert Plant is the lead singer of Led Zeppelin. Jimmy Page is a guitarist, but I got him confused for a second. But Robert Plant is the lead singer.
At the time, I believe he was hanging out in Austin a lot because he was dating Patty Griffin. Patty Griffin.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is. But anyway, they were dating, so he was in Austin all the time, and you would hear people like, oh, I saw Robert Plant here. And I was at Whole Foods, and I saw him in his shorts, flip-flops, and a basket.
And long hair, right?
Oh, dude, it's Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin. Still, the hair is curly and long, down small of his back. Pretty cool.
Mike, what'd you find out?
Yeah, they swept that year. They won 5 categories.
Yeah.
That was
huge
a massive record. I remember them playing ACL in Austin, and that was a big deal.
You never saw Robert Plant around? It was just one of those things where we were like, yeah, I saw him at the park, man. Pretty crazy.
That would be crazy. Like living legend.
Yes.
When it comes to living legends in music, let's go back and forth and name who we think are living legends in music that are alive.
Paul McCartney.
The first, right?
Yep.
Let's just put all the Beatles that are alive. Paul McCartney and Ringo,
That's it.
right? Even though Ringo,
Still part of you.
but
Still a
arguably
Beatle.
one of the Beatles.
Still a Beatle.
So I'll go Robert Plant, Jimmy Page,
Yeah.
the living members of Led Zeppelin.
Mick Jagger.
Oh, all the Rolling Stones.
All those guys. Although I don't know the drummer, I don't think I'd recognize him.
Mick, is that Mick Jones?
I don't know.
See who the drummer is of the Rolling Stones. Mick. Is it Mick?
Well, there's Keith Richards, and then there's Ronnie Wood.
Mhm.
Well, I recognize all those three, and the rest of the guys I have no idea.
Mike D, the drummer of the Rolling Stones is?
Mick Avery.
Mick Avery.
Ah,
I knew
so
it was
close.
Mick. All right. Let's see. Living legends. Boy, then you get into this lane of Dave Grohl.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, he was in Nirvana,
You can't forget that part.
the most influential band of the 90s,
Yeah.
of a whole decade, and then turned it into a massive, long-lasting, multi-Grammy, platinum, the Foo Fighters.
I mean, I wouldn't put him there yet. I know he's going to be there just because he's younger. He's on that younger spectrum because there's no worry that unless there's a sudden accident, like there's no worry that Dave's going to be gone soon. So I wouldn't put him as like a living legend.
Oh, I don't
yet.
know. I might, though. I might. He's right on that because he's got to be in his 50s.
Is he? Yeah, oh, for sure. All those guys are in their 50s. Yeah.
How about the living legend debate? How about, I think Chris Martin's too young for
Yeah,
sure.
way too young.
I think he could be there in 15, 20 years, though, from Coldplay.
He's going to be a legend.
How about from Queen, the guitarist?
Oh, gosh.
Brian May?
Brian May.
If you have to go, what's his name again? Are they a living legend?
Yeah, but you see him and you know who he is.
I'm going to go no.
Okay.
You can say yes. I mean,
I'll say yes because when I saw him at iHeart Fest in Vegas, I mean, it's pretty like I know exactly who that is, and that's a living legend right there.
okay, Stevie Nicks.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
living legend.
Man, I was just about to say Tom Petty because I forgot that he died.
Dead legend.
Willie Nelson. No,
Yeah.
no debate.
Living legend. Garth Brooks.
Oh!
Because I don't know that Garth is much older than 60, if he is even 60.
Yeah, see,
And if you Garth's the biggest American art.
59.
Yeah.
he's not even 60
How old's
yet.
Dave Grohl? You looked that up? I'm gonna bet.
52.
Okay.
See, man, they're too young to me.
Even though Garth is the biggest selling artist in American history.
There's no doubt that he's going to be a living legend.
I think Garth's already a living legend.
Okay. I mean, I don't disagree with you that much where I'm going to say, like, no way. So, I mean, I'm on the borderline with him.
Who are we missing for living legend, Mike?
Steven Tyler.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, Steven Tyler's a freaking living legend for sure. And nice guy.
I mean, when he walked into our studio that one time.
It was awesome.
I
Yeah.
mean,
It's one of those rare moments where I was like, I cannot believe this is happening. There's only been a couple of those. The first time I met Garth, Steven Tyler. Who else came in here? That might no Dolly.
oh, Dolly, of course.
Dolly. Who else we missing, Mike? Do you
What about
think?
like Ozzy Osbourne?
I don't know about legend.
I feel like he would have been, but almost like when you join a reality show like that, like it just kind of loses. Maybe it's because we know too much about him at this point now. We know all his kids, we know his wife, we know everything. A lot of these other living legends we're talking about, we don't know that much about him, so there's this mystique.
It's an interesting theory. I think that he just, although they were a big band in the 80s, 70s and 80s, they don't really have a lot of songs that have just lasted the test of time. Where Queen has, the Beatles have. What do you? I am Iron Man.
Oh, don't forget, no more tears.
No more tears.
That was 90s.
Borderline, but I'm gonna go no on Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, Bruce Springsteen,
Yeah.
living
Even
legend.
though I'm not a Bruce Springsteen guy, I still see what he does to people, and he's in his 60s. Maybe our cutoff point is 60. Like, you got to be 60 and older and have to have defined an era of music.
I've been listening to old Bruce lately and just kind of I don't know. After his whole thing, the DWI or whatever, I started just listening to old stuff. Dude, it's so good. And it makes you realize just someone's growth and how awesome they were at the very beginning to just keep being awesome. And he still produces really good music. And he's just really cool to me.
I just have never spent any time. It was just not big where I grew up. It was all 90s country, and for me it was alternative, and that turned into hip hop. Then I just never, except for Born in the USA
Yeah.
or Dancing in the Dark, I'd never invested enough time.
Born to Run. It's really good stuff.
So I think our cutoff's going to be 60 and above, and they've had to define an era of music. Are you fine with that rule?
Yeah, of course.
We missing anybody else?
Did I say Bob Dylan?
Oh, of course.
Again,
100%.
I'm not a Bob Dylan guy, but I will agree with that. Then
You don't
He's
want to.
79.
Yeah, dude, Bob's a living legend.
okay, but then how about someone like Neil Young? He'd be a living legend, and
I do like him.
I
but
wouldn't pay to go watch a Neil Young
I
show.
wouldn't either.
And I have to think to myself, is he still alive?
He's still alive.
He is, right?
Yes.
75.
And
Yeah.
I think he like married a really young girl. So.
Tony Bennett,
Oh yeah, living legend.
living legend. Anybody else we're missing?
I think that's all the big ones.
On who's on the precipice of being a living legend in the next 20 years? Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day.
I thought about him for sure.
Dave Grohl, we'll put him in the next up list. Garth's not 60 yet, so we're going to have to put Garth there according to our new rule.
You're gonna hate me on this one, but I go Taylor.
Fine.
Taylor Swift
Fine.
on the way.
Why would I hate you? Sure, great. She's so young, though.
I just love her. She's
But
awesome.
You have to be 60, and she's like 30, right?
Yeah, and I just feel like
I agree, but
she's gonna keep doing it. If she quits like in the next 5 years, then she may not. Because I mean, how rare.
she's not going to quit. She's too good and probably too inspired.
I agree.
Yeah. But that's weird to pick somebody so young. But again, I guess if you've been killing it since you were 16, like she would get into the Hall of Fame if she quit right now.
Yeah. What about
We're forgetting rappers though too,
Yeah,
right?
I'd say
Sure.
Eminem.
There aren't a lot of rappers who are old, because rap only became extremely popular in the late 80s with it. It obviously was a growing format, but with Run DMC, the Beastie Boys, like when it crossed over to pop. So you're not seeing a lot of really old rappers yet. Jay-Z will be there.
Snoop?
LL Cool J, like those old guys. Snoop is still doing it. Snoop is basically Tim McGraw of hip hop.
For sure.
Like he was around back then.
Oh yeah.
People don't even realize Snoop was on trial for murder. And they're like, man, what's up with Snoop? Like, he's just a cartoon character rapper who does, TV shows and is funny. No.
Uh-huh.
He was on trial for murder.
He's serious.
Yeah, Snoop for sure.
I mean, Dr. Dre.
Any other legends on the edge? This obviously wasn't what we meant to talk about, but it's kind of an interesting
I like
topic.
it. It's funny.
I mean, Chris Martin will be there.
Yeah.
John Mayer.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, he's my favorite.
100%. I mean, he can
Living legend, Eric Clapton.
Good one.
Yeah.
You just remember that?
Yeah. Well, I thought about John Mayer and I thought about great guitar players that are alive.
Yeah.
Eric Clapton did it multiple times. He did what Foo Fighters did, where he went from Cream, The Byrds, a solo artist. He had 3 generations of
Pretty cool.
of being in a big band.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
Okay, well, that's all we're talking about.
We're going to end this, and I'm just going to keep thinking about
Jimmy
it.
Buffett, obviously, didn't bring him up.
Living legend.
You didn't bring him up as a legend.
He stands on his own. Like, it's just, to me, he's not even a musician.
Well, then you have that whole 90s rock band group like REM, right? Is Michael Stipe, will he end up being a living legend?
Eddie Vedder.
No, I'm kidding.
Living legend.
I was listening to a podcast on Temple of the Dog.
Oh, yeah? What podcast is that?
Where it was
tell me later so you don't promote it on there.
Where it was basically, at one point, as they were playing, it was Eddie Vedder, Chris Novoselic, the bassist from Nirvana, and Dave Grohl.
Who
playing drums. And it was basically a Nirvana, with somebody else, but it was basically a Nirvana band.
That's the earliest of Temple of the Dog?
It's one of the versions.
Okay. Yeah, it's a very cool story.
Pearl Jam's singer was the singer.
Yes.
But as it switched in and out, at one point it was basically a Nirvana with Eddie Vedder as the lead singer.
That was Eddie Vedder's first like taste of being on a big record, because Pearl Jam was they weren't even on a record label yet. They had recorded that, and they said, "Hey, you're the new lead singer of Pearl Jam. Why don't you come sing on this record with us?"
I'm going hungry.
Dude, I mean, that's when everyone heard that voice. Is just like, whoa, that voice is different. Like, who is that? And then here comes Pearl Jam. Pretty cool.
Pretty cool. All right, that's it. Thank you, guys. Hey guys, it's Bobby Bones. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and then go check it out. A lot of artists, a lot of songwriters, a lot of music. Welcome to the Bobbycast channel.